Jai Gurudev and Hari Om. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryankaravavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Chaiva Tato Jayamudiraye. Jai Gurudev. It is so, not only is this knowledge revealing, there is so much of reveling in it also, isn't it? As we are going through this one more time, how not only are we looking at it objectively, but also subjectively. When you consider, when you look at the implied meaning, not just the literal meaning, when you look at the implied meaning, all of this turns to our own journey from steering our compass from prayers to Shreyas. Right from the Krishna and Duryodhana and Arjuna's, when they meet up before the war, right from that is where we started today, to the fact that Dharma Kshetra, how this whole body itself is a Punya Kshetra. It is born of Punya, the mixture of Punya and Papa, with a predominance of Punya. And it is only in this body that we have this free will, choice, the freedom of choice is given. So how we choose will determine where our life is headed. Yeah. Let's all share. We can all share our takeaways.
Can you please quickly tell about Shreyas and prayers? I'm just a little confused.
Yeah. Prayers is anything that gives you momentary pleasure, like everything else in the material world. Everything which is anatma, it gives you prayers. Your after money, wealth, fame, riches, all of that. That is your prayers. Whereas Shreyas is you seeking that freedom from insecurity. You're wanting to, you're being a mumukshu is following the Shreyas mark. That is Shreyas. Shreyas is actually equivalent to moksha. Shreyas is equivalent to freedom from that.
Means long-term profit, we can say. Any work you can, short-term and long-term.
Long-term. It is the only profit, if I can say.
Yeah, that is
actually, we could also say,
yeah,
we could say prayas is dharma, artha, kama, and shreyas is moksha.
Yeah, right.
You want to categorize it?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
In any work, we get immediate pleasures sometimes. So we have to think whether it is giving me immediate pleasure or in long term it is good for me. You see, what is long term good? I am aiming at moksha. So I have to follow for that what is good for me instead of the immediate pleasure I get it. That way we have to think for every work we do. Or we can say Shreyas is work done according to dharma, mostly.
No, that comes only dharmic. That is only laukika. No, Shreyas goes beyond dharma. That is what Nana
I agree, but in laukika term, I am talking about.
No, then you are only an ethical person. No, Sureshji. You're no better than an ethical person. You continue to be dharmic. There is no liberation, so to say, for you. You will
Yeah,
continue
yeah, I agree.
in mode. Here,
Yes,
what we're
yes,
talking of is liberation from samsara. 1 second. Huh?
yes.
Please continue your discussion. I will just.
Jai Gurudev, last 2 days we have been talking about astrology, and I had been introduced to astrology. So I thought of telling you whatever little I know about. Like
Yeah,
any
I was
other,
asking it.
yeah, like any other science, it's the science. Like how medicine, you go to a doctor with some problem, and he has some solution to that. He would give you some medicine. Likewise, you go to an astrologer with some problem, and then he will give you a solution, because Jyotish without upaya would not help you, because you go with some problem, so he will give you some solution. Like they would tell you, like you are going through some sade sati, you have to please that god to, like how Krishna lowered his ratha and only his crown was taken off. So whatever in the prarabdha, you have to go through it. There is no other way. But you can lessen the pain. That is what you could do. Though that's why the remedies are given to you. And if you are going through, if you are going through some Sade Sati, it is to do with the Shani Maharaj. So accordingly, they will tell you some remedies. And that's why this. And one more thing I would like to say that, see, unless you give the right information, like your birth details right, and if the reader of your chart is not qualified, then you may not get the right result. I mean, you may not get the right reading of your. So it depends on the who reads it, and the information which you give is right, because most of the time the birth dates, birth times are not given right, so they cannot predict it right. Though there are many astrologers out there who can predict just looking at you, but there are very very uh, I would say very rare to find such
Rare.
astrology. Yeah, but um, mostly the science has been there to help people around to go on the right path, or just to show them what is in your life in future. See, past they can predict 100% what you have been through. They can tell you 100% right, but the future maybe 80 to 85% right predictions they can do, because it is in the future and it might change. So they can be accurate only 80 to 85% right. So but they can predict your past 100%, because it has been done, you have done with it, and they can do that. Yeah, but it is a very good science, very accurate one. And I have got a lot of experience. I mean, I have experienced it.
Who is speaking this? Dr. Mara?
This is this is Mrinal Joshi.
Mrinal, okay. Mrinal.
But then, what is the role? What is the role of Jyotish for a mumukshu? How does it help? How does it help a mumukshu? It helps a person living in the world wanting to get his artha and kama and all that, right? But
absolutely.
what is the role of Jyotish Shastra for a mumukshu? Mumukshu is already, his compass is already directed towards the ultimate goal.
Correct.
He's also a karma yogi, because a mumukshu, he cannot not be a karma yogi, isn't it? So he's accepting everything that is happening to him, including the phala, as Bhagwan's prasad. For him, what is the role of this upaya and all that? He anyway knows his prarabdha he has to go through.
Correct.
He goes in a prayerful mode. He starts starts off with a prayer, seeking the Lord's grace, so that there are no obstructions and that there is a smooth journey. But how is this, how are these upayas going to help him?
No,
See,
that
when
Ramanaji,
mm,
here Brahmaraji, I want to this that when he seeking, he comes. Mumuksha is already, he should not have desire, no. Now, if I go to a Jyotish, I'm desiring something. That is a confusing for me also.
people will seek help only when they are in problem. And when they don't get any answer, why is this happening? And such people, this will be help. Like if you're not well, if you have a cold or cough, whom you'll go to? You'll go to a doctor. You can't be just sitting and saying that I'm mumuksha, this is a bodily pain. You would go to a doctor, right? For some remedy. Same way, there would be different kinds of problem in your life. And it's
Oh,
not that
good.
you have to go to astrologer. If you are fine with that, yes. If you have taken that as a prasada, nothing like it. But when I felt like studying it, I really wanted to know what is the science behind it. That was the motive to learn the astrology. And you can see that happening in your life. And then you realize that, yeah, not everybody wants to go to astrologer, not everybody is wanting to go to astrologer, because yeah, the life is running smooth. But if you're taking everything as a prasadar, nothing like it. But people want to know the answer, why it is happening, when is it going to end. I mean, that kind of help astrology would give you.
So I would
But
consider
again,
crutch. It's like a crutch. It's like your
yes,
kind
yes,
of a safety net, wherein
safety net, or you will get some answers to many a times you go through some trouble and you don't know why it is happening. See,
the whys are
if you
answered. The whys and the questions in your life are kind of getting answered there.
answered, yes, and this is not the end. They like people are going through pain. Yes, this is going to end, and this is why it is happening, and this is all related to your prarabdha karma. When people get to know, yes, this is because of my karma only, they will stop blaming others. I mean, just because I'm going through sadisati, this trouble is happening. Okay, after 7.5 years, I'm going to be all right. And during this time, what do I do? He has to do something, right? So there are some upayas. Okay, so his mind is busy with something else. This is not for maybe who is onto the path of moksha and who doesn't feel the need of it. He doesn't have to go to astrologer. He may not even go to. But people who are still into this worldly things, they need some answers, right?
Because from my childhood, with all due respects to astrology, palmistry and astrology, I know it's an exact science and I know it has a value. From my childhood, somehow I've been influenced by Napoleon's words that he says, my life is in my hands. It is not in the lines of my hands. So from the very beginning, uh, uh, I have not given so much importance to, say, astrology or palmistry, or even the daily, what is that, the daily forecast, the star forecast and things like that. Because
See,
somehow from the beginning, it has been ingrained in me that you are the maker of your destiny. And what
absolutely.
happens to you is because of whatever, that is now, that with all this knowledge that is there, it is because of prarabdha and all that. So in my mind, I'm only talking for myself personally. For me, astrology is relegated to the kind of background. I don't need astrology to carry on with my life. But I know there are people. My own husband, for instance, he he believes, and not that I don't believe, but he uses astrology as a crutch.
It's not a crutch, I would tell you. See, prarabdha, you have taken a birth with fixed karma. There are some karmas, like there are 12 houses, and each house, there is a fixed karma. You can change a bit, you cannot change at all. There are some fixed which you cannot change. Some within limits, like there is a what you call free will, those can be changed a bit. But overall, if you have drawn a bigger circle, that is your prarabdha. Within that circle, like Guruji gives the example of the cow tied to a stick, can go around it, but as much as the rope would allow her. But within that circle, she can sit, she can stand, she can lie down. But you cannot go beyond that circle. That is a prarabdha.
Correct.
Like Napoleon, what he did, he thought of future. Yes, future is in definitely in your hand. That's why I said your future, next life and all, maybe it's in your hand. That is definitely in your hand. But what you are born with, the like DNA chart is with you. Your kundali is your DNA chart. What is happening in your life? Do you agree that you have come with the prarabdha? This is how your life is going to be. At
Yeah,
least for this life. This life,
right.
I'm saying. Maybe future life. Napoleon has drawn that line, or he has put that intention for maybe the next for next life or his
Oh,
future.
that
Yes,
intention was
definitely. But
specific
what
also.
you're going to go through this, what is fixed in your life, that can be predicted. And people may not, all the people, if you've seen how many people are now, we have surrendered. Oh, we know it is all God's wish, everything. We have come to this knowledge. But how many people have come to this knowledge? Not many, right? So for them, it might help. It's just a help to people. It was
Right.
not to make money. It was not there to make money or business. Then it was to, like every Ayurveda Vaidya would have an astrologer sitting outside. Why? Because they would, mm, mm, I mean, astrologer would see that what kind of problems this person has. You can predict that this person is having pitta prakriti, he is rajasic, and this is what might happen to him. These are the diseases he might have to have. He has to take care of his heart. All that can be predicted in the astrology. And with that, taking in account, he would do the nadi pariksha, and they would come to a conclusion that yeah, this person needs this kind of a thing. I mean, this no this science is there to help people,
Correct.
not to
I get it. Yeah.
yeah.
Understood. Thank you, Mrinal, for giving
Thank
so
you.
much
Thank you.
clarity.
Yeah.
Thank you.
This
I was
also
having that
shows how
question.
the present government wants to actually have an astrologer. I think in every and every medical facility. I'm not certain whether it is specific to Ayurvedic Vaidyas, but this is what I read some time ago, that they want to have an astrologer in the front office. So that makes it
Yeah,
clear.
in another way, to look at it, once you know what it is, okay, whatever happens, this is what going to happen, or you just let it go. You don't dwell on it. Most of the people, it's finally they'll say, oh, it's my fate. It like that, they whatever that what that the prajita they do, and then whatever you could do, you do it, and then you forget about it, and that's it. At least it guys let you move on with your life with that kind of stuff.
Very nice, interesting
Yeah.
knowledge. Really good. Thank you, Mrinal. Very nice.
Yes, Mrinal.
Where are you from?
I'm from Bahrain.
Bahrain. Oh, good. Thanks.
Yeah.
Very nice to know. Good.
So today, my little clarity on how vritti becomes a pramana, how words become a pramana, became a little more clear with respect to this, when we're talking about this guru buddhi. So although we say pramana is Vedanta, it is really a thought. So although there is a flower, that knowledge of the flower will come only because of the flower vritti. If there is no flower vritti, you may be seeing hundreds of flowers, but the knowledge that it's a flower will not happen. So that vritti is what is the pramana. And therefore, words, that is why Veda is the pramana. That is what is meant by the pramana.
Still, I am not getting into it, but I will read it myself. Then only
Yeah.
I can.
Brahmana, can you please explain that? Even I didn't get it.
Yeah. See, although we say, I'm reading from the para, all of you can see this, right? Although we say that pramana is Vedanta, it is really a thought, a vritti. That is the pramana. Pramana is that which gives rise to knowledge. For example, the eyes are not the final pramana for seeing. It is not the physical eyes that are the pramana. They are only the means, the instruments for us to get knowledge. But the vritti is the final pramana, in as much as it is the final cause for knowledge. To see a flower, you must have seen a flower. You must have a flower vritti. That is, in your mind, there should be this vritti, this thought of the flower. In fact, the thought and the knowledge, they come together. They, no, you cannot separate them. It
But
is this
vritti is a thought?
is a thought. Yeah.
No, it's an impression.
Vritti is a thought.
No, it is impression, no? Vritti.
Yeah, you call it impression, you call it thought. It is the same thing. It is a mental.
The thought is the process, the earlier process. But when it becomes impression, that is vritti.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know the finer.
If you catch that thought, see, many thoughts are coming. I may think many things, but if I catch hold of that thought, that becomes vritti.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but to see a flower.
Means here, if we talk, vritti, thought, that is I'm talking. I have to need to think about it still.
So finally, vritti is also a thought. No, it is a thought that you're holding on to. So vritti ultimately is also a thought. So to see a flower, you must have a flower vritti. It is this flower vritti that gives rise to the knowledge of the flower scene. This is what is meant by pramana. A vritti is born out of a certain situation.
Vritti is like more like a memory, like what you said, like impression. Dr. Brahmara.
Yeah.
So this, yeah. So, like you remember that this example, we read it so many times. When you say the pramana, that's a means of operating, like that the eyes are looking at the flower. And then the prameya is the object, and then the what is pramada is what is that you're looking at. I think the pramana is the knowledge, right? That
pramana is the knowledge, right?
So
that
maybe
they're likening the
right. The pramana is knowledge, but the pramya or something like that, that's a means of operating. So basically, then you have the knowledge because of that memory.
Because of the impression?
Yeah, I feel that, like, say, for example, you saw the flower before. The reason you are even recognizing the flower because it's in your memory that it is a flower.
Yeah, good. That's a good thing.
Otherwise, the knowledge of the flower comes to you because that you already have that impression there. That's how you remember it.
It does not require memory here, Dr. Mara. For instance,
For the flower.
You don't need memory. All you need is vritti. Because, for instance, supposing you are seeing a flower for the first time. Someone tells you, your guru tells you, this is a flower. So what memory do you need? You only need that vritti of that thought of saying this is a flower. So the thought and the knowledge come one after the other. They're actually together. we've read it earlier also. The object, the knowledge of the object comes along, it's true to the object. Like, for instance, there is an apple and you're seeing an apple the first time. Someone tells you this is an apple. So for you, the knowledge and the vritti, they are together. That knowledge becomes immediate, isn't it?
I mean, the
So,
vritti could be thought also, but I think it's part of it. I mean, the way we see things because it's already there in our mind, or it on the form of memory, right? So that's how we see things.
I think we are trying to describe an elephant, like how blind people are describing an elephant in all ways. Each one is different.
Hariom Brahmaraji, could you please read the next para for the Antakarana? I think it will give the answer.
Yeah, I will just complete this, then we will get it clearer, I think. It is this flower vritti that gives rise to the knowledge of the flower scene. This is what is meant by pramana. A vritti is born out of a certain situation and becomes the pramana. We say that ears and eyes are the pramana, but in the final analysis, vritti alone is the pramana. The mind, being the place where the vritti occurs, is called antakarana, meaning inner instrument. When you are exposed to a teacher or the teaching, your buddhi, the intellect, assumes the very form of the pramana, the teaching. Therefore, the guru's buddhi or the teaching and your buddhi become one and the same. This guru buddhi tells us, you are that, tattvam asi. Here, the guru buddhi is turned towards Arjuna, which represents the confused antakarana, the ego, or one's notion of I. Arjuna was definitely confused. He had great sorrow and he was being told, tattvam asi. That is why he asked so many questions in the 17 chapters followed. Exposed to the teaching, one's own buddhi assumes the very meaning of the teaching and thereby becomes the guru to oneself. If your
This is a
buddhi,
good sentence.
yeah, if your buddhi does not know this fact, tattvamasi, it cannot tell you. It cannot tell you anything more than what it knows. That is why continually asking, who am I, does not work. So even when Ramana Maharshi tells us, question, who am I, look within, this is with the background of the pramana, of the Vedas. It is not just who am I, you go on asking. For someone who's not exposed to the Shastra, he would not know who am I in the end, isn't it? So nothing can happen because you do not know what you do not know. Someone has to teach you. You cannot simply ask, who am I, and expect to get an answer, because the I that is always present is the one asking the question. How will the answer to such a question come? You cannot hope to stumble upon the fact. The fact is you. Therefore, you are not going to stumble upon an answer that is anything more than what you already know. The only way an answer can be obtained is by this buddhi, meaning the Shastra pointing towards the confused jiva and saying, you are the whole, Param Brahma, as we shall see. So you require, therefore, the Veda is the pramana. That is why it is the means of knowledge. So without this means of knowledge, this Atma Jnana is not possible. Someone cannot just sit and ask, who am I, all the time and hope to gain moksha. That's not possible. Because you will only go on circling, who am I? Without this this vritti that tattvam asi, aham brahmasmi, these are all the vrittis. These are all the brahmakara vrittis that Nana keeps talking of, right? So with this background knowledge, this vritti, then that vritti, when your mind, antakarana, is so purified, there is no confusion anymore. In that purified antakarana, the buddhi itself assumes the form of this vritti, and therefore that is the time when that realization happens.
Hari Om. So
Nicely explained. Nicely explained. Very, very good.
Brahmaraji, when we say that the antakarana is pure, the vritti becomes the pramana for that shuddha antakaran, right?
Right. Right. That vritti is important. Therefore, that is why we have the Shastra. That is why we have the Gita, the Upanishads, all of these, isn't it? Otherwise, there's no need for us to go to the Shastra to gain moksha.
Dhritarashtra had too much of dvesha and raga for his own son, dvesha for Pandavas. So his antakaran was not shuddha. So his vritti for seeing good in others was not there.
It was not there.
It was biased vritti, isn't it?
Very right. Because he was filled with jealousy from the beginning.
Therefore,
And mamakara, both were there.
no, therefore, with abhyasa, or we can say with our daily kriya or anything, we clean this vritti, the impression, and then the actual vritti comes out. Pramana is a pramana.
Even the
With
Shraddha was like in Dhritarashtra, he and Duryodhana both, they had Bhishma Pitama who was like a strong pillar. Had it been they had Shraddha, but they did not have that Shraddha. In comparison to them, Arjuna had Shraddha, though Krishna did not come with the arms and he declared that he is not going to fight, but still he knew that his mere presence will make a difference in everybody's life. So that Shreyas vritti was there in his mind, and compared to that, Duryodhana and Dhritarashtra, they did not have. That's why even when Bhishma Pitama fell down, instead of looking for his health welfare thing, he's asking what they are doing next. I mean, that is the heights of the dvesha.
No, he doesn't ask what are they doing next. He says, what did they do? Because this happened 10 days after the war, right? Bhishma is already on the Ampashaya. So Dhritarashtra's first question to Sanjaya is, what did my sons and what did the sons of Pandu do? It's actually a question in past tense. Kim akurvata.
But that thing is this Gita is happening before the war started, right?
Correct,
No,
it
no,
happened.
after
But it is correct. Bhagwan gave Arjuna before the war, but the Gita as given by, in the Mahabharata, as given by Vyasa, the first chapter, right?
So he put that in the Bhishma Parva. Is that what it was?
That
He
and
put the Gita in Bhishma Parva.
the first verse starts, is documented, is like put down, compiled. That was 10 days after the start of the war.
Mm-hmm.
The opening verse of the Gita is given, is asked by Dhritarashtra 10 days after the war began. And Sanjaya is actually giving him a report of what happened 10 days before.
recorded version.
Recorded version. It's like playback. Rewind and playback it is.
Okay. So
This is
the
where,
one other
where it is
question I
written,
have.
Brahmaraji,
Uh,
where this is written?
Here it was there. No, see the first one.
No, I had not.
See, if you go, the imagery of chariot is also very beautiful.
I think I missed that.
Yeah. It is
And
there.
the whole of Mahabharata was written after the war was over by Vyasa. I mean,
Yeah.
narrated by Vyasa and written by.
Just
Yeah.
imagine how strong their memory must have been, no? What we did yesterday only, I don't remember today. Sometimes the question, talking in Manana,
Can you, this vritti is the Sanskrit meaning is the thought, or I'm not sure how does that thought and the impression, what is the impression is then in Sanskrit? Like for memory, they call it chitta, but then you have,
That is what
you're
is
seeing,
vritti. See, what is that? See, with this impression of anything, what we do of karma, that itself gives us the birth. That is what vritti. With that vritti, we are born. The impressions, what we had done, and that memory, that with that itself, our ahankara forms. With that, we get this akara. Actually, I feel that way.
is that called vasanas? That's a different word. I'm
know.
sorry, I'm getting confused with these
Yeah, I'm
words
just
like that now.
taking Google's help. I'm not sure how true this, how good this is, how authentic it is. What is meant by vritti? Vritti Sanskrit means streams of consciousness. It is also a technical term used in yoga meant to indicate mental awareness against disturbances in the medium of consciousness. See, in Patanjali Yoga Sutras, there are 5 kinds of vrittis, no? And what is yoga? Yoga is chitta vritti nirodha. So when these modulations, they're also called modulations of the mind. They are like waves in the sea of consciousness. That is a vritti.
Yeah. I understood now. Clarity. Okay, good.
5 types of vritti are what? What is the 5 types of vritti? That is correct perception. Pramana, viparyaya, nidra, smriti,
No,
and
vikalpa, nidra,
kalpa.
smrtaya.
Yeah. Pramana is
Thought
also
waves.
right. Proof, wanting proof is a vritti.
No, here pramana, viparya, vikalpa, nidra, smrtaya.
Smriti. So
So
memory.
that is thought waves.
Thought
waves.
So Dr. Mara, you were talking of memory of the object, right? So that is also kind of vritti. Pramana is a vritti.
Good.
So all these 5 modulations are like waves on the sea of consciousness. So yoga is what? Yoga is when chitta vritti nirodha. When these waves subside, that is yoga. That is uniting with yourself.
Good. Nicely.
And for that, we require the Brahmakara vritti. That is why we require Shastra. When we say Tattvamasi or Aham Brahmasmi, that is the only vritti that remains. And possibly that will take us to that seat of awareness.
For that, we need Guru.
For that,
what
you require, for that, require your waves to settle down. It should be a calm ocean. If there was a calm ocean, like without any waves, in that seat of calm, that is the antakarana which is purified, then you merge with the conscious, you become that. So vritti is like modulations of the mind. But here, the vritti...
What he says, pramana is vritti.
Yeah.
So you mentioned about 5 things, right? What were the 5 things? Pramana and what else?
Pramana, this is according to Patanjali Yoga Sutra. Yeah, go ahead, Suresh.
Pramana, viparya, vikalpa, nidra, smrtaya.
Okay. So there were different kinds of vrittis.
Vrittis. Good.
Okay.
That is Patanjali Yoga Sutra.
Oh, you have to look in Patanjali Yoga Sutra.
Patanjali.
Okay. So
Number
one
6.
more thing.
Number 6, chapter 1.
Oh,
Could you please explain Viparyaya Vritti? Anyone, please?
Viparya is wrong knowledge. Wrong knowledge, knowledge which is false and not based upon the true nature of its object.
Like, for example, you are looking at your friend in the mall. The friend has not looked at you, and you start, that comes under Vikalpa, I think. That is delusion. Viparyaya is, like Suresh ji said, wrong knowledge.
That is, see, the classic example given in the yoga literature is that of a piece of a rope which is mistaken for snake. That is Viparya. That is wrong knowledge.
Correct.
Okay, Dhanyavad. Very nice.
In this case, wrong knowledge will cause us to fear the rope and avoid it or try to kill it.
Yeah. The wrong knowledge that it is the snake.
okay. Today I got
Wrong knowledge that whatever is
Right.
happening is real.
Right. Correct.
Oh, well, yeah.
What is it, Dr. Mara? We missed what you said.
No, I kind of missed several things today because I got interrupted with the phone call. So, there were like you were talking about, Nana was reading one sloka about 5 or 6
6 qualities, yeah.
qualities.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then what else was that one? I wanted to. Else
And
I forgot.
Vikalpa, I will explain it.
There were 6 things mentioned. Can anyone repeat for success? Brahmaraji, you had read that, I think.
Yeah, I'm just going back there.
Sureshji, can you put that on the group, just to put that word and the meanings for those vrittis, if you could?
Yeah. So the qualities for success are Udyama, proper effort, Sahasa, perseverance, Dhairya, courage, Buddhi, knowledge, Shakti, skill and resources, and Parakrama, capacity to overcome obstacles. I think even this is better for us to enumerate. Like we have the 6 qualities of Bhagavan, we have these 6 qualities to gain success. Udyama, Sahasam, Dhairyam, Buddhi, Shakti, Parakramaha, Shadete, Yatra Vartante, Tatra Devaha, Sahaya Krita. It's nice if we can memorize this shloka, no? Then you will get it.
This is very nice. Which page number is it, Brahmaraji? Sorry to interrupt you. Very sorry.
This one, no. This is in that introduction to chapter 1 to 7. There is one summary, right? In that PDF. It is not in this is page 93. I will share this. I think maybe I've not shared this PDF in the group.
Can you do down? Yeah.
Page 93 it is, Bela.
Okay, Dhanyavad. I wanted to take a screenshot, but my phone is not taking. I don't know. This is very nice, Subhashitam.
Why didn't we get this idea of taking screenshot? I'm going to take the screenshot. And
Looks very
Parakrama.
nice. Yeah, sorry, Parakrama. So this is where Nana is saying that prayer that we do to overcome the obstacles before we start any karya. This is what is this one? Is all these qualities for success?
So that is for success. You may have courage.
Is for success. Udyama is effort.
See, this was in the context where Arjuna and Duryodhana go to Krishna, and Arjuna chooses Krishna. He is the first one that Krishna opens his eyes and sees, and he says, since you're the younger one, I'll ask you first. And Duryodhana is like praying. If at all he prayed, this was the first time, and his prayer was answered in the right way according to his needs. He prayed that Arjuna chooses Krishna so that he gets Krishna's army. So instead of asking, give me, that would not really work. So that is what Arjuna realized. But in order to be successful, 6 qualities are required. Udyama, Sahasa, Dhairya, Shakti, and Parakrama. So this Parakrama, to overcome obstacles, that is where I think we would require the help of our prayer. You may have courage and enthusiasm, but no proper effort. On the other hand, you may have right effort, but no enthusiasm. You may have the necessary enthusiasm to persevere, but if after some time you have not accomplished what you set out to accomplish, you may give up due to lack of courage. So you need skill also. Skill and resources are also required. Without resources, what is the use of planning? So if raw material or skill is required, you must have that also. Finally, you must have the capacity to tide you over an obstruction, parakrama, to be able to encounter and deal with forces that are inimical to you. You know, the present Modi government has all of this. In fact, Modi himself has all of this. That is why he's being so successful, not just within the country, but outside as well. So you must be like a flowing river, unmindful of all obstructions. If a huge mountain is there, the river simply flows around it. It does not stop. If the obstruction is a simple rock, the river jumps over it. If it is a bigger rock, it simply goes around or swallows it and flows over it. If it comes to a valley, the river fills the valley first and then continues flowing. That is the nature of a river. It does not see an obstruction as an obstruction. So we should...
That's a beautiful statement.
We should be more like a river, gurgling, laughing, enthusiasm. Udyama, there is effort, there is sahasa. It does not fear, it's coming down from a mountain top. It's not fearful, it is so courageous. It
The
falls
cliff,
down.
yeah.
Huh?
It,
It
like
does not
like
go.
Niagara Falls, like you should see those things. Oh
Yeah.
my.
Yeah,
If
in
water
fact, it
had
would bring
vertigo, it would not do that.
in fact, it would bring fear into others, right?
Being like a river, we should draw so much from the river.
Yeah. We all have to get together someplace in the near the river and look at it.
We are in
I
the river,
always,
right? We
I
are in
like
the Gita.
yeah, Ganges River, one of my, to place to see. I haven't been there. I mean, I went to see Taj Mahal, where I saw Yamuna River, but I haven't
Dr.
gone to
Mara,
Ganges. Yeah.
Dr. Mara, that is
Yeah.
literally you want to go there, but implied meaning you are
Yeah.
already in the Jnana
Already
Ganga.
in the, yeah.
You're in the Jnana Ganga, where we're, sipping into this beautiful knowledge of Vedanta, of the Shastra day every day. That
Yeah.
is so cleansing, isn't it? You feel so
You
purified.
do, like as if you're going in that, you're going in a raft and it's just going here, there, everywhere, like that's how it feels. Like you can imagine like both side the mountain and the water running and you're going there. And why? Like,
So we have done some punya, therefore we are right here.
no, yeah, of course. I mean, this is really eye-opener, like
It's very
I could
difficult to get such people together.
I feel this is another education, like, I like, it's like studying all your life feeling.
Yeah.
But this one is even harder, harder type of lesson rather than so far what we have learned.
See, we get so many doubts here only while talking itself. My views are different, your views are different.
But then you think about this whole thing is all about you. That is what is amazing, how little we knew about ourselves. That was the thing. But it's really awakening us. That's really nice.
I is
Thank
finding
you.
who is I.
Yeah.
That is what they have written.
I had to tell you that this find your we have a like in when we do the college courses here, there's a course called Find Yourself, and one of the father was saying like, do I pay for you for this course, taking this course? When our kids go into school, they take this kind of courses, or they shall we? I took this course, Find Yourself. Oh my God. Anyway.
So even if these 6 qualities are present, we cannot say with any degree of certainty that a person will meet with success. There is still that unknown factor to be recognized, Daiva, that extended helping hand to be sought. So Dharmaputra and Arjuna recognized it. They did not go to the forest because they were afraid of Duryodhana or of a fight. They went only to conform to Dharma because they recognized Daiva. They knew that you never get away with what you do.
So much faith, no? That in spite of so many struggles, they still have that faith in Daivatva.
But what we do, we immediately want to get out of it.
Yes, very true.
Which is not wrong also, but then we want quick fixes. We are not patient enough for the whole thing to... That is where I don't want to go back to the topic of astrology, but then astrology, I think, gives us quick fixes. Like you do this homa, you'll get out of this. You do that puja, you'll get out of that. It gives you those upayas.
No, Brahmaraji, like people come to you as a doctor, what would you give them? Medicine, right? But the medicine is for what? To bring down the fever. But still, they will get the fever. Not with medicine, without medicine. 5 days they will suffer, right? Antibiotics are given. How many days still they have to take, isn't it? They would go through that pain. It's not quick fixes, it's the upayas. And upayas in the form of prayers, not which will not harm them anyway. Isn't it? The upayas are there to please.
Refuting that upaya. I of course agree. Upayas are there for a reason. But for me, the question is the role of astrology as a mumukshu. It will only probably pave the way. It will clear off obstructions and keep your your path clear of any obstruction. That's what I look at.
But even if you are a mumukshu, you have a body. You still need it to run properly. If you are a grihastha, your household needs to go smoothly. And these are not the problems. See, people with terrible problems, people like who are sick only go to doctor, right? Physically sick. This is overall, people are bombarded with so many problems, though it is physical or financial. Such people only think of going to astrologer, not otherwise. Just for the hobby, they might be just going to astrologers just for, as a curiosity. But people with really who are cornered, such people will go to an astrologer, and invariably it is when they are going through bad phase of their life, like Sadesati or Dayashani. Only then, or if their kids are stuck with, they are not getting married, or only when they are having problem. And Jyotish is there to help them. Nothing more than that, I feel.
On a lighter note, maybe even the thought of going to the astrologer is also there in their astrology chart. Otherwise, maybe they will not go.
Yes, absolutely. It is there in their prarabdha. In my see how I joined the astrology. I was not at all interested. I never even thought of learning it. But I mean, it's very difficult to convince people. It was my Dhaya Shani, that is my Saturn, coming into eighth house, and the Guru also came into the eighth house. That was the time a one message from one of my friends came. I mean, she forwarded the message to me. She didn't even say anything, but I felt I got the interest that moment, and I said, yes, I want to do this course, and I joined the course. And that is one of the triggers to having interest in occult sciences, the position of the stars, which would create interest in occult sciences. And from that moment, I started having more interest. Yes, this has happened. And I, I, I don't know, I should say this, but these last 2.5 years have been literally very bad for me. But what is the solace? I have been learning this, and this is out of what you call grace, that I got some opportunity to learn this, plus join these courses. This is only because of grace. And this has been saving me, my mind, or the being with you people every day has been saving me. So this is a upaya for me. What I'm doing is upaya. And I feel that there is nothing wrong being in praying and all, not for anything else, just to keep my mind, when you have so many problems, your mind goes insane. So keeping my me centered, having guru in life, having such a group in your life would make things easier. It may not take all the troubles in your life, but things become little easier for you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mrinalji. Very nice. Wonderful.
Thank you,
Yeah.
And it is just like even after, suppose Jivan Mukta, he has become a Jivan Mukta, but he has a body. He is facing diseases. He has to go to doctor, no? Like that. This is the same thing. What Mrinal is saying. Very good. It's a nice. You are a Jivan Mukta, but you have a body and you have to treat your body. Without the body treatment, body has to leave you sometime. It doesn't mean that Jivan Mukta doesn't will stay with the same body. No. So
And
he has to go to doctor.
he has to go to doctor, keep right
And so similarly, yes.
state of your mind.
Yeah,
Like
good.
I might go into depression, I don't want anything, but this
Yeah, very.
kind of knowledge is keeping me still interested in this kind of knowledge. Yeah, why this is happening. But if you have gone and see people go into depression, go into different kinds of habits and all, uh, they may not, they would stop even believing in God, kind of a thing. I mean, things will go into different way. Of course, again, that all of that comes under prarabdha. If you are destined to go into this line, destined to still be with the guru, still having, because people feel that, oh, I have done so much for God, but God hasn't been looking after me, and they'll go away from this path. But the right kind of knowledge, why it is happening, only because of your prarabdha, only because of your karma. When this is bombarded on you, and when you realize that that is the thing, and with the right kind of knowledge, not that it's someone says something like, which is going to be harmful for others also. Such things you can be, such things can be avoided when you have the right guidance. And it's only the prayers that they would tell. And a Jyotishi who tell you to do beyond your limits, like someone cannot afford to dana of gold or silver. If he tells them to do that, he is really adharmi. He is not supposed to tell you that kind of remedies. You should not go to such astrologers. They might be telling you, if you do this, because see, all the grahas are under the influence of different gods. And there are different things which are aligned with the same energy, right from the grain, the animal, the colors. One energy is aligned. That's why they will tell you, okay, dana of rice you give, because because you must be under the influence of that graha, which is aligned with that grain. So giving dana to that of that grain might help you. It's not 100% sure that it will help you, but you're doing something. If it is in your limits, if you can do it, yes, you should do that. And only good astrologer will see whether you are able to do it or not do it. He will never tell you you have to do it. No, he would not say that, and he will not guarantee you that whatever I'm predicting is going to be 100% true. He'll say, by God's grace, this will not happen. But this is the condition of your stars. Why you're going through the pain. So these are the remedies. Pray. This is what way he will help you.
Yeah, but probably what we should do is with this background. See, all this implies doing. All this is karma, isn't it? All that is related to Jyotish or upayas and all that. Keep that as a background, but then do not lose sight of your Shreyas. It is only knowledge that can relieve you completely. That is the only thing that will give you freedom.
Brahmaraji, here the
So
knowledge of karma is
we
here.
not get caught
Here,
up in karma too much.
absolutely. No, but here, why it is happening? A person who is going through pain will want to know why it is happening. Okay, this is happening because of my prarabdha. Move on. He will not get stuck there. See, when he knows why it is happening, his mind is not stuck there. Only when you don't get answers, then only your mind will be stuck there, right?
That is
So
why
this is the thing.
I think for a mumukshu, the role of Jyotish is not significant. That's what I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
Isn't it?
Same like
only for
for
a kami,
Mumukshu.
only for a kami and an arthi that this Jyotish has some meaning, because it will help him get a comfortable life.
See, we are again we are labeling Brahmaraji over here, because a person in trouble, he will not label himself, oh, I'm mumukshu, I won't go. He will feel the need and he will do as per the need. He will do that. If he's sick, he will not sit and say, I'm mumukshu anyway, body is going to go one day. Why should I go to doctor? He would not sit and say like
thing.
that. It is the need of that person will drive him towards the astrologer, towards the medicine.
I beg to differ here. 1 second. When Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, Ramana Maharshi, they were all Jivan Muktas. When their body was going through something, it was not their need that they wanted to go see a doctor. It was their devotees around them, their students. They took them. They did not feel the need to go and see a doctor. They knew Prarabdha is taking care that whatever laryngeal cancer or so, it will take its toll. It was their devotees who took them. If I might be wrong, we should get the facts right. But a Jivan Mukta or a person who's a Jnani, he will not find the need.
They don't find themselves because they pretty much they say it's not their body and mind, but they don't. I won't say they won't care about it, but they don't go in that path. But then again, for a normal person or people who don't feel some what do you call that? So whoever was suffering in whatever way, financial, health and family issues, children getting sick or somebody, that kind of thing, and they don't have much else to hold on. Of course, they pray God and they don't have right answer right away from the God, then they kind of go towards this kind of thing. Oh, go and find this. Maybe you do this. At least going and then with that intent, they go and pray the God, please help me with that with that attitude, then they feel they relieve themselves of that that mental tension, at least. Whether the whole thing is going to go away or not, it may not, but at least it lessens their mental burden. And then somehow they seek some relief. That's what Mrinal is trying to say. But I'm just telling you that in whatever way, people, that's not the only way. But again, here we have to use our free will, our knowledge, and everything. We can't put everything in one place and rely on it. We have to pursue everything just for your own satisfaction. Okay, at least I know, okay, this is going to happen. By January 17th, I'll be relieved of this Sani Graha.
I'm just waiting for that day, Maharaj.
Exactly. I've been for last year or so, I've been like roller coaster for me, so so it is hard. Like, you won't believe, Mrinal, I went to India, I came right back in a week. Remember, I was asking you about the date and all. I canceled 5 times this year, man. This never happened to me, to make a trip. Every time I booked the ticket, something ever happened that I had to cancel it. Finally, at least I get a glimpse of my mom and came back. So that's all I did. But anyway, that's not what I want to tell you, Dr. Pramara. It isn't everything. The astrology is like a part of it. The people who believe in it, they can go for it. If they don't believe in it, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Like,
I mean,
because
only person who
in
is,
the end, like when I read the Vishnu Sahasranama, it says it is that is ultimate God, like the only God that we have. He helps with everything, including the grahan problem. So so if I read one thing, that's how I kind of, then I say, okay, I surrender to this. That's it. I can't do so many things. Now that I'm reading Gita, every day we are chanting one chapter. That's all I can do right now. So anyway, I'm just trying to make this is, we can't put everything in there. Like, but then the Jivan Mukta, that's a whole different issue. They not normally go about it. Like, even this Periyava, Kanchi Periyava is one of another Shankaracharya. He when he had very high fever, he said he want people 150, like the people, to chant Vishnu Sahasranama 3 times. Even those days, but they prescribe medications. Along with that, they prescribe Vishnu Sahasranama. Okay, so you go and read this, and there was one other talk about it. I mean, I don't want to go into dwell on it, but I heard that very, very, very many times, various talks, and it is true. Like that. I come from Tamil Nadu. We have so many different all these kavasams that we read, like about Muruga and Ganesha. Everybody's faith is a little different, and when they do it with that prayer, things do get better. So that's a faith.
See, whatever is there in your prarabdha, astrology is not going to change it. It is not going to change it. It will give just the remedy. This is what is happening. And see, whether to go to astrologer or not, it depends totally upon the person's attitude or the strength, his mental strength. If he is feeling weak, if he is so strong that nothing, whatever happening, Guruji is going to take care of me. Or just the Guruji has said, okay, Om Namah Shivaya is the only mantra you should. If he's following that, absolutely fine. But when it goes beyond his capacity to, go through it, then he might take help of astrology. And there is nothing wrong. It's like mentally you are so distraught. You need to take somebody's help. That's why the astrology comes to help you. You don't have to go. You don't
one
have
more,
to go.
Dr. Brahmaraji,
Yeah.
If we do not have a good health, suppose, or good sound body, like cancer or anything, our mind will not also be stable to do dhyana and all that. We need good body. For that, at least we should go to doctor. Therefore, Ayurveda is there. Why
That is
Ayurveda is
one of the
there?
obstacle for this. Yeah.
Yes.
Actually,
yes.
when you say the mental illness or the physical illness, those
Yes,
are
that is
obstacles we have to overcome.
obstacles for the moksha. Yes.
Right.
So we have to be fit first. Then only we can pursue all this.
And
So that's also
astrology
good.
is only to take you in the right direction. Tell you, oh, this is your prarabdha. This is just what he's telling you. Because not everyone knows, has gone into so much of details into spirituality yet. They are still ritualistic people, still there are religious people. Maybe for them it will help to guide them to the right direction. As I said, they might become, non-believers. Because when somebody goes through
Hari Om, but these days getting the right doctor is a problem. Same way, getting the right genuine astrologer is also a big challenge,
Yes,
isn't it?
good. Yeah.
Like the biology, we are all, we are at least how many doctors are in this group now?
Nice, wonderful.
That is true. I agree with you. I mean, even for doctor, when I go to my own doctor, I know what you say, what you mean. It's you have to be very careful. This is where our own knowledge helps. Like you have to know.
That is also your prarabdha.
Yeah.
Getting the right doctor.
Right. Exactly.
If you remember, I have gone last 1.5 months. I was in India looking for the right doctor, right diagnosis. But just because I'm going through this, I did not get the right solution yet. And as you said, Dr. Mara, just waiting for the 17th Jan.
See, I think
Jan?
I heard that the Sadhasati will kill your ahankara,
Yes, absolutely.
That is what.
Yeah.
It comes only to kill your, means it directs you to the spiritual path.
Yes. And you can't find the answers over here.
Yes.
You have to just surrender. You have to, total surrender would keep your mind in the right place. Otherwise you will go mad. Because last 2 days I'm just on the bed, unable to even move out of the bed for no reason. There is no reason for me to be in this condition, but I have to go through this condition, and still keeping that mind calm, and get up early in the morning, be in this class. What has helped me? Why I'm doing this? Because I know this is going to end now. After some time, I'm going to be relieved. That hope is there for me, and it is not endless. If I had not known this, I would have just given up, right? I'm not getting any answers from doctors. I would have just given up. But now I have some hope that yes, after certain time, this is going to get over. And that keeps me going on.
Very good discussion. Nice.
Nice discussion. We'll continue tomorrow. Tomorrow, we don't have Nana session. So I would suggest that we continue this. There are some more beautiful aspects here, that how the human body, we have the implied meaning of the chariot, the Radha, the Sarathi, all that we'll do tomorrow. But tomorrow, I may require someone of you to share screen. Can one of you do that? Because I would need to go to the airport to drop my son. So if any of you can come forward to share screen, I will share this PDF in the file in the group. You can email it yourselves. Or
What time are we starting at the same time?
We'll meet at the same time. We can wind up at by 6 We'll meet at 6 your time. We'll have it for 1 to 1.5 hours. We'll have Manana, and
Okay.
then
I
we'll
think
be-
I have this same one chapter separately. Is that okay? Maybe we can use that, the first chapter. I can try to
no, but I
see-
think that chapter
share.
1 separately does not have all of this. I will have to share this thing, which is a summary of chapter 1 to 7. That is the one that has all
Oh.
the remaining pages. I will
this
share
is
that.
one
with you.
to
Yeah.
this is 1 to 7.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't think I have this one.
Yeah.
Will you share that in email or on WhatsApp?
I'll share it both email and WhatsApp. Email I will
Okay.
share to you, Bela.
Email probably be way better. That way we
Yeah.
can, when we sharing, we can
Then
use
share
it.
that common email. I will put it there as
Yeah.
well.
Thank you so much.
Thank
So
you.
light up here today. Om Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Tat Sat Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. Jai Gurudev.
Thank you, Jai Gurudev.